happening, especially the recent trip to Sierra Leone.
Okay. Famata Dole, represent Prosa, I'm told. She'll be on the line.
She will be joining us, but until we get her, for now we have with us the chairman of the Student Unification Party, who also represented his political bloc on the delegation to Sierra Leone. So Mr. Momo Peter is the chair of SUP, and he's with us in the virtual studio. So at some point, he will want to chip in his experience from the perspective of a student on what happened in Sierra Leone and what the benefits are for students. And he too was part of the conversations there. So we will have Famata. Okay, Famata is just joining us. So now we have Famata and Momo Peter. I like the gender balance of the student representation here. So they are with us right now. So you can get it going whenever you like, Mr. Josh.
Okay, so Mr. Chairman, Momo Peter, let me say good morning to you. Welcome to Lux FM.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you doing? How was your night?
My night was splendid, and thank you for the show. And
Okay.
Mr. Good morning to Mr. Thomas for the hard work he continues to do for the Steven University. You have an honor,
Okay.
comrade.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Famata, let me say good morning to you as well.
Famata just drop off. I think she's struggling. So whenever she gets on, I will signal you. I will just add her and signal you. So she's
Okay.
struggling with internet for somewhere, I think. Yeah, but she will join
I know,
certainly.
I know. This is the Liberia. I mean, we understand
Yeah,
that. No
yeah,
problem. So, but let me
yeah.
let me start with you, Thomas. You went with the dedication to Sierra Leone. Maybe you could just start with a summary of some of the major things that happened. Then we'll get the perspective of Mr. Peters, concerning that.
Okay, yeah, because now most of these things are a bit old, so I just want to
Yeah.
do a quick run through the activities in Sierra Leone. So we left Monrovia on the 2nd of September, Thursday, and we returned on the 10th. So that's an 8 day space, a little over a week. So we first stopped in Bo at the Njela University, one of the biggest in Sierra Leone, the second biggest state university. We had meetings there, and the next day we signed memorandum of understanding with them, which was remarkable. That was due to the fact that it was necessary for us to have it. We had a dedication that represented the entire university, so both sides thought that there was no need to delay any further, and especially the collaboration we saw and the relationship we saw with, amongst the students. It was more than necessary to have it signed at that time. So that was signed on the 3rd of September, and then we left. We went to another university, public university in Sierra Leone, called the Ernest Bar University, which is located somewhere north central. They have campuses spread across the region, but their secretariat is located in a town called Mamburaka. So we left from Bo, we went to Mayomba on the campus of Angela on that same day, on Friday. And then we left that afternoon after signing the memorandum of understanding from Mayomba all the way to Maburaka. So it's like a 3 4 hour drive, but on very good road. So we got there, we there with a very nice, by a very nice team. We had discussions surrounding memorandum of understanding, and luckily, all of the points that were in the draft memorandum of understanding, both sides seem to have agreement on it. But they insisted that they don't want to do their signing there. They want to enjoy the hospitality of Liberians. So they prefer coming to Monrovia to sign that memorandum of understanding, which is about finished. So that was it. And then we left Maburaka. We came to the second city, McKinney, where they have their second campus. The universities there got different area of specialization. So each campus has its own area. The GTI campus is for teacher education. They have their science and technology campus in McKinney. And then they have their humanities and general education campus in a place called Poloko. But it was a bit too far, so we couldn't go there. And we were on a very tight schedule. So the next day, Saturday, we drove from McKinney to Freetown. And we arrived in Freetown Saturday afternoon. A few hours after our arrival, we met with the Liberian community there at the Liberian embassy. And thanks to the ambassador there, Madam Ambassador Musuru, Chairman Sunny Lin. So I like her for that. So she welcomed us, and we had a lively conversation with the Liberians there. And at that program, the president of the University of Liberia made an appeal to Liberians in the diaspora, especially in Freetown, to participate in capacity building initiative at the University of Liberia, especially now that we have blended learning. You can decide to end your tenure there, or when your contract in Freetown comes to an end, you can join the University of Liberia family to become a member of faculty, or you can just remain there, keep doing your work, and just participate by taking few courses via the internet, and you can still deliver learning content to young people in Liberia. So that appeal was welcomed by the Liberian community, and some of them even said they would take advantage of it because they have capacity. We met guys there who have been seconded by the Central Bank of Liberia to the West Africa Monetary Zone initiative that is happening. So they are in Freetown, but they have immense understanding on economics. So they expressed interest in joining the econ department, and there were some who say they have been teaching mass communication, development studies, and all that. So we had a very nice afternoon, and then sang our national anthem, took pictures. But the next day was the most important one for those who are religiously inclined. The entire delegation had time to go to the worship service. Some of us didn't go. We needed rest and to prepare notes for Monday. And that was a worship, at least for God to be with the team. And then we know our president is not just a professor doctor, he's a reverend. So that is important for him too. So the team made a visit to the church, and that was for Sunday. And then Monday, we had a special meeting with the United Methodist University in Sierra Leone, Freetown. So two things stood out from that meeting. One, they are very keen on having this relationship with the University of Liberia, and they wanted to be signed in Monrovia, Liberia, just like the Ernest Bar University. The second thing that stood out to me is that the Methodist University seemed to have some liking for hills. One of the tallest hills, if not the tallest in Freetown, is called the Leicester's Peak. It's almost at the apex of Leicester's Peak, where you have the Theological Seminary of the United Methodist University. So imagine passing by all of the embassies going up the hill. It was a very scary journey, and most of the students, I'm sure, Momo Peters will share his experience on that. Even had problem with their ears because of the changing attitude and the difference in
Oh
pressure
my
up there.
God.
So
Well,
that
if
was
you can
important.
describe that,
Yes,
I just remember my trip to Frabe. If that place is higher than Frabe, then I don't want to go there. Frabe College,
it is
you
definitely
know,
higher than Furabe.
oh, I want to be part of that
Yeah,
one.
and also on yeah, and also on an important note, during the meeting of the United Methodist University, we had time to pay homage to the late bishop of the United Methodist Church in Sierra Leone, who we were made to understand that he's the full bearer of the university there. He started the idea. His vision was driving all of the happening at the university. He was the chancellor. Now they're trying to find another bishop to replace him, or he's the late bishop John K. Yamasu. Then he spoke when our president was being inducted into office, Dr. Nelson. He left Freetown. He came to Monrovia, I think, on Fenner campus, and he graced the occasion. So his tomb is right there by the University Theological Seminar. So we had that, and then on the academic front, from that conversation, Dr. Nelson set up a committee to push the conversation with them until we get to signing later this year. And they have an interesting program in their school of transformative education. They have a system of doing preparation and remedial courses for those who struggle to enter the university because they did not succeed in the regional exam. So instead of them being left out, that school is giving all special courses to students, preparing them to take the national exam, pass, and they will be able to enter the university. So that's something our university president said we will adopt and incorporate into some of our program. And they really want us to help them set up a medical school. I mean, that was something that stood out on this journey. Almost all of the universities we visited kept saying the University of Liberia has a very good, very well respected medical school. The AM Dr. T Medical College has contributed immensely to medical education in the region, and they want to tap into that in addition to the law school we have. So those were the key points from the United Methodist University.
I just
that was
like
on
you to
Monday, and then
Tuesday. And I just hello, Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just like
yes,
you to.
I'm listening.
I want to take you. Okay, I want to take you back to the discussion concerning medical, school, and I just like you to talk to me about maybe the facial expression, or even if there was any interaction between the head of health sciences here and the administration of the United Methodist University there. What were things discussed?
Yes, Josh. On the issue of the reputation of our medical school and the kind of discussion we had based on that. This show is a short one. Almost all of the places we stopped, it became top of the conversation. At Bo, because the Ungela Medical School campus is located in Bo, they had conversation with our team. The medical college was fully represented. We had the vice president for College of Health Sciences, Madame Bernice Dan. We had the dean of the medical college, Dr. Lawrence Sherman, and we also have with us the director for the graduate study in public health. She's Dr. Wedemay Hammond Gray. Her name always confusing me. I don't know what it's Gray Hammond Gray, but she's Dr. Gray, Dr. Wedemay Hammond Gray. So the medical college was fully represented. So in Bo, they met with Dr. Ansomana, who's the dean of the medical college. And he said he has a lot of respect for the AM Dr. T School of Medicine and our entire medical college. So there are areas of collaboration. He told us already happening because since Ebola, there were programs run at both their university campus and AM Dr. T that have similar goals, similar source of funding. So once we have this memorandum of understanding, it will be easier for the two teams to just blend their research work and start coming up with joint funding. So that was key for the Njela University in Bo. When we got at the Underspark Puma University in Maguraka, there was also detailed conversation on how each side set up the medical system. And then while our people, Dr. Gray, Dr. Hammer, Dr. Sherman, and Dr. Dan provided information on the setup and the structure, they seem to have a lot of work done in the area of microbiology. So there were the two sides said they will have exchange of notes so we can learn from the way they set up their biological laboratories. And then they can share with, we can share with them how we set up the curriculum that I've been training doctors for many decades in the sub-region. So that was important. But at the UMU in Freetown, they are just conceiving the idea. They don't have a medical college yet, but they want to use our structure, our pattern to set up the medical college. So they have the School of Theology, the School of Business, and the School of Humanity. So they have TD Main School, but not a medical school. And they want us to help them set that up. So Dr. Dan took time to break the entire structure. A lot of it was informative for even me. I'm sure a lot of the colleagues on the trip, how the College of Health Sciences is organized. She talked about the School of Pharmacy, the AM Dr. T School, the new initiative running with the Tubman National Institute of Medical Arts, which makes it 3, and then adding to that the Master in Public Health, making it 4. So with these 4 schools under the College of Health Sciences, we have the entire health sector covered. So people want to tap into that for knowledge and then other outcomes of the partnership. So that was key in the conversation with the United Methodist University.
That's a great one. We'll go to Steakhouse. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Do we still have Peters on the line?
No, Peter's just
No.
left us.
Okay.
Our students struggle with internet, so we have to understand that.
Well, we'll get
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
All right. But one of the biggest, I mean, everything was important, but one of the biggest was at State House. I just like you to trail us through during the signing ceremonies, hearing from the president of the Republic
Mm.
of Sierra Leone. It's a great thing. So this is just to tell you how huge this arrangement is. So just give us a clearer picture because at the time we had some of the glitches here and there, but just give us a clearer picture as to the happenings in a hall at the State House.
Okay. If you may allow me, before we go to that, I just want to give a bit of background because some people might be hearing this for the
For
first
the
time.
first time.
The
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
University of Sierra Leone has been having, yeah, the University of Sierra Leone has been having an informal relationship with the University of Liberia. We've been collaborating on some issues like doing research, instructors trying to exchange notes. Sometimes students leave on their own. They carry their transcript to the University of Sierra Leone. Fuabe students have come here, but there has been nothing formal. In Liberia, at the undergraduate level, we have the new policy of zero tuition, you only pay fees. But if you left from the University of Liberia, you went to Sierra Leone, while students are paying on average of 60 to 75 United States dollars, Liberian students will have to pay around 1,000 or more because you are a foreign student. So when the president of the university, I mean, the Sierra Leone visited Liberia in 2019 on the invitation of the university to serve as the 100th commencement convocation speaker. He said at the end of that occasion, he said there's no reason why two countries that are so close, so tied by history, culture, and everything will not have collaboration of the tertiary institution. And for him, he said our region should be a region based on innovation and talent. We have a lot of problems, but most of them seem to be resolvable. And we can resolve them with the people we have once we develop the capacity. And he believes we don't need to import experts all of the time to resolve our problem. So we have to build the capacity locally, and we can only do it if we collaborate among our tertiary institution. So he gave a challenge in 2019 December to both the leaders of the University of Liberia and the leaders of the University of Sierra Leone to find a way to formalize their relationship. So that happened in 2019. The development of the detail, the memorandum of understanding was done in 2020, but we could not find the opportune moment to do the signing of that agreement because of COVID. So now that things have been a bit relaxed and both sides seem to be okay with the document, we had this trip to Freetown so we can do the signing of the memorandum of understanding on the campus of the University of Sierra Leone. But the president being the progenitor of this idea and an alumnus of the University of Liberia and someone who's very uncompromising when it comes to development education at all level, he insisted on the signing ceremony taking place at his office, the State House, their equivalents of what we call the Executive Mansion. Ideally, it will be at the University of Sierra Leone, most likely Fuabe campus, but he said it has to be done under his watch.
I
The
can just
night before the signing
remember the
ceremony, the University of Sierra Leone folk organized a dinner just so we clear all the other issues. Just to make sure we clear other issues because once you go to the State House, you're going to follow protocol and security regulation at the State House. So
of
during
course,
that,
yeah.
the vice chancellor, who is the chief administrator and principal of the University of Sierra Leone, said we have signed a lot of agreements with different universities in different countries, including universities in Liberia. We currently have university memorandum of understanding with Cottington and the UMU in Monrovia. But this one we are about to sign tomorrow will be different because the president, who is our chancellor, is the one driving this, and he said he will be personally monitoring. So the pressure was already high from that dinner. We even cut the dinner short right after making statement and drinking few bottles of stuff. We had to cut it short to go and prepare for that big signing ceremony the next day. So tension was already high before going in. Luckily, the security guards were flexible. But once we entered the hall, things were set way in advance. So we had the president already had his staff there putting people in the various or seats. We had the University of Sierra Leone folk and the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education and the Liberian delegation on the other side, the president in the middle, everything organized like it has been planned and rehearsed. So there was no time for movement. That's why you wanted me to give you live update from there. No, first of all, I couldn't even take my phone with me. I had to leave the phone at
Yeah,
the door.
sure.
Luckily,
Yeah,
the
the
security
director
guards were
message.
not too fast. Yeah, so I still have access to my WhatsApp messages, and that's how I could communicate with you. But I couldn't take phone call, and phones were not allowed in the hall. So during the signing ceremony, everyone made speeches and said what they wanted to say. Some of which we have talked about over the radio. We even have stories on our website. But very importantly, when the Chancellor of the University of Sierra Leone, I always like to call him Chancellor because for me, it's something that I must get used to. In the British system, the president of the country is the actual head of the university. I didn't know that until we got to Sierra Leone. So the
So here,
president of the
here,
of the
ours is the visitor.
is the visitor. Yeah, it's a bit
Yeah.
different. Ours is the visitor. For them, they call him the chancellor. So Dr. Nelson position here is the president of the University of Liberia, but for them, he's the vice chancellor, deputizing for the president, the head of state.
Okay.
So Dr. Madabil said he was impressed. He congratulated both sides for the milestone, signing this historic memorandum of understanding, but he urged them to move beyond signing. He wanted to see concrete action on that MOU because it was important and it was overdue. So he said at the next meeting, he needed to see a drawn out plan on what would be happening, how would the entire collaboration be sustained, how would they get financing, whether from government, from private sector, or other stakeholders. He needed to see a detailed breakdown of milestone, how would the collaboration be worked out. So of all the things that were said, including speeches made by the Minister of Education of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Ansu Soni, and the Minister for Technical and Higher Education, because for them, they have two ministers of education, one for basic primary education, the other for technical and higher education. So at that occasion, it was the Minister of Technical and Higher Education speaking, Professor Afa Wori. So he said, the university have been transforming and changing things. Now it was time for them to transform themselves. So this collaboration with Liberia will open a whole new door of opportunities that including strengthening and tightening the bilateral relationship, a very historic one between the two countries. So that was a memorable moment in the entire signing process. And the day after we did the signing, we had a full working session on the campus of Urabe, which was on Wednesday. We met with the students, we met with the faculty. You know, the university carry a full team, so we split the entire delegation into different teams. Our team met with the RCT and communication group to understand what the progress they have been making with the e-learning system, what has been happening when it comes to digitizing and transforming higher education. We got to know that during COVID, they could not do e-learning like we did. They just decided to close down. And for their learning management system, they are not using Moodle. They are using another system called Fedora, but they are doing most of their courses in person. On the issue of cyber connectivity, we were very impressed to know that the government has been providing internet bandwidth to the Furabe College free for many years, and they have been getting high-speed internet up to 600 megabyte per second. And we also have the president of OFA, Dr. Edna Johnny, carrying a delegation to meet the head of the faculty association there at the University of Sierra Leone. They had a very long meeting. I'm sure some of the findings will be presented in their upcoming General Assembly. And then we have the dean. Yeah, are you there?
Yes, go ahead. I mean, there was some internet problem here, but go on.
Oh, okay. And then we had the dean for our College of Social Science and Humanity, Dr. Moses Gray, who met with the Social Science Department. They have very long meetings. So all the little meetings were all about setting up concrete steps and action as part of this memorandum of understanding. Because usually people will just sign, go home, relax on the beach, get back to their various places of work, and then later on they try to figure out what to do with the document they have just signed. But for this one, the pressure started even before the document was signed. So we had to go to work the next day. And from all these meetings, we have a clear understanding of how things will play out. Students from the University of Sierra Leone, through their student union leadership, met with our student representatives led by Associate Professor Sekou Kone, along with the 5 students who travel with the delegation. And they had a very long meeting, which ended with the tour of the Fura Bay campus. So they too have their roadmap to implementing most of the things that are in the MOU. And I think they are even looking forward to starting things very early, like in the coming semester, having
and that is program. That is what we really want to hear from them. I'm saying that's the part that we really want to hear from Peter, but he's gone off a line. But from the student angle,
they had a meeting, and I was not in the student meeting. I started the meeting with them, but I had to attend other meetings. So I just had the opportunity to talk with the Minister of Education of the student government. That one thing I would like to say, they are very well organized. The government is organized. The student union government has a cabinet of 38 members, aside from the parliament. So speaking of student, I think we have Famata on the line who can say, Famata Dole, are you there? Famata, are you hearing us?
Is that Famata or Peter? I'm seeing.
That's Famata. Famata Dole.
Famata, good morning. We seem not to be, or she seems not to be getting us. Famata, are you there? Can you get us now? Good morning.
No, Famata is not getting us. So they had a meeting and then they drew a roadmap. I think I had access to the minutes from the meeting. They were scheduled to meet on Sunday, last Sunday.
This country
to figure out exactly what they will be starting with. But the Minister of Sports from the student union government said they will be having sporting encounters, ranging from physical athletic sport up to academic and cognitive sports. So the Minister of Foreign Affairs said there will be a lot of trade between the two institutions. Students will be coming to Monrovia soon to do their own assessment and have follow discussion with their counterpart here. And they are looking forward to a student-only delegation leaving from the University of Liberia, visiting the University of Sierra Leone. So a lot of things have already started happening. And I can say this memorandum of understanding is live and kicking. So just before we get Famata, she's still trying to come on. We also made a stop the next day, which was on Thursday, the 9th of September. We stopped at the headquarters of the Mano River Union Secretariat in Freetown. Currently, the head of secretariat is Madam Madina Wise, someone who has been in politics and media development, communication, and all that. So the message of our president was the same as what he delivered to the Liberians at the embassy, asking people at the MRU. First of all, he told them that we are in this initiative of strengthening collaboration among tertiary institutions in the region. He also told them that we want to make sure there is some kind of convergence of academic standard in the union, because we cannot just focus on economic integration, security, and now health, which are the core pillars of the MRU. We should also be looking at integrating our educational system so that the outcome from there will reinforce some of those things on the economic front. So, and then he ended up by extending his appeal to folks at the Manuel Union Secretariat who are from Liberia to consider helping us as being members of faculty, either when they return or by participating in our blended learning process, taking on courses even while in Sierra Leone. And Madam Mandina Wisa said the trip was a very timely one because it fits right in line with their current plan of going into the era of higher education because they have done a lot of work around infrastructure, around security, economic integration. Now it's time for them to go into higher education. She also talked about climate change initiative that countries in the region can take advantage of, but these things can only be done if tertiary institutions start to set the tone, pushing young people into that area by offering new courses because everyone can just keep doing accounting, management, sociology. She wants the trend to change a little bit. People should do something around renewable energy or environmental science, climate change initiative. She didn't know that the University of Liberia currently has climate change program. She was, I mean, surprised to hear that. But that was the conversation she was driving along with our president, Dr. Nielsen. And Dr. Nielsen told her that we already started that, but we look forward to working with others, especially in Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Ivory Coast, to strengthen that climate initiative side so that our young people can start tapping into the carbon economy because that's the trend, that's the future of global economy. So young people should think of leaving college, going straight into the job market, trying to make an impact, and not to just think about public sector job as the only viable option.
Someone trust me, this is a very good initiative. I was just monitoring the BBC this morning. If you know, the I think it's the same in Gala University, the School of Science in Hajin. They, in collaboration
Mhm.
with the London School of Hygiene, I think produce a kind of Ebola vaccine that has been approved by the WHO and one other organization. So that vaccine, the trial stages have taken place, and the rollout is currently in progress in Sierra Leone. So
Mm.
I'm just thinking these collaborations will soon see perhaps the
Mhm.
School of Health Sciences or the College of Health Sciences
Mhm.
producing similar
Mhm.
things in Liberia.
Yes, that's why I was referring to earlier. I just I needed to push the conversation
Yeah.
because I told you that we met the dean of the Unjeda Medical School. They call it the College of Hygiene and Paramedical Studies, and it's one of
Yes.
the constituent schools of the Unjeda University. He's a product of the Liverpool School of Tropical Medicine, a very well-respected guy. You could tell by the way he colleague interacted with him. He's called Professor Rashid Asumana. He said,
Yeah.
since Ebola on the health front, Liberia and Sierra Leone have been working in tandem. They've been having parallel programs. So just when we got funding to run the Prevail program in Liberia, they also had that same funding because the University of Liberia Medical School, the AM Doherty, play a key role in that process along with the John F. Kennedy Medical Center. So their training hospital and their college had their own program that they were running, and he said they were just around the point of releasing a result. So he was making that point to say, if we have this MOU signed, it's going to be a good thing because the two teams can now work together and their publishing, their findings will be much more respected and will have higher standing in the academic and the science community because Preview has pushed the bar when it comes to coming with early vaccine against Ebola and some of the work that is now saving lives in East Africa. But they too in Sierra Leone in Bo have been doing their share of the work. So I'm happy to hear from you that BBC carry a program covering some of the outcome of their experiment in that place. So you see, we now have this collaboration between the University of
Yeah, sure.
Liberia and the Angela University. When these results are coming out, it will be like combined report publication. So we'll blend the finding with ours, and then we'll come up with something strong. So people will be
Thank you.
quoting a collaboration between the University of Liberia and the University and the Unjala University, and not just one. So it will be a well-respected result on this.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Thank you so very
I don't know.
much.
Some students are still asking about entrance result. Yeah, let me just say something short on the entrance result before we wrap out. Yeah, it will be out on Thursday. So Thursday, just get set. Entrance report will be out. You have your newsletter, the UA Campus Review. It will also be on the internet. We might have a press conference to release the results. So if you follow on the radio, you will get the announcement of the result as well. But all of the digital content relating to the entrance result will be available on our website and our social media platforms by Thursday.
That's very great, Thomas. Thank you. I mean, the University of Liberia is truly on the way to 2027. We're doing great things, and we can only but say thanks to the authorities here.
Finally, we'll get Famata. I don't know, you can give her 1 minute, Mr. Host.
Yeah, okay. So, Famata, just 1 minute.
Famata,
Famata, good morning to you. Hello, can you get me? Famata is still struggling. Famata, maybe
good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Yes, okay, she's hearing us.
Hello, Famata. I don't know. Apparently, she's not getting me, but getting you. So she could just share her experience.
Famata, can you hear me? Famata, can you hear me?
I don't know.
The audio.
Okay, yeah, apparently.
If you're hearing us, can you just share your experience from the trip in Sierra Leone? You were one of the students, the 5 students who went on a trip.
She's gone off the line.
She's off. So we can call your day. We have plenty of time just to get the students on.
Yeah, maybe
students from University of Sierra Leone, to give their own, to share their own experience.
I think we'll try to do that because, in fact, earlier we announced that we're going to have a student representative from Sierra Leone. So maybe we can better arrange that to have the students, just discuss their perspective of the different engagements there in Freetown, Sierra Leone. Let me say thank you very kindly for your appearance. In fact, we made it appear like, I don't want to say like just you, but you had the information. So we just provided a space for you to kind of, bring to us a clearer picture of what took place in Sierra Leone. So let me say thank you, and please have a wonderful working day.
Yeah, thank you, and wish you the same.
Okay, Thomas Kaya is the director for media relations here at the University of Liberia. Of course, he was on the team that traveled to Sierra Leone last week to, sign a memorandum of understanding between different universities there and the University of Liberia. So, he was the last, or say the longest, or the last segment of Lux Morning Show. This morning, we had earlier anticipated the appearance of Momo Peters. He was on the line, but he had to go off whatever reason, I don't know. Commander Dolly represented the biology department and PROSA on that trip. She too struggled to get on the line, but we might just find some time to talk about what these arrangements, what the thing will bring to the University of Liberia. JKB is going to be here tomorrow morning. My name is Alfonso George. My colleague Sonny Kamara was here.